Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Tien wishes everyone a morning full of energy, a gentle start amid this chilly air. Today, when you step outside, you will immediately feel the cool breeze lingering in the air. That very sensation signaling that winter is drawing closer than ever. The sun still shines, the sky remains clear, but don't let that sunlight fool you, because even with the sunshine, the cold air still creeps through every gust of wind, making many people pull up their collars, tighten their coats, and savor another sip of hot coffee. The cause of today's biting cold, none other than the low-pressure system off the North Sea, named Storm Benjamin. This storm is pulling in a massive stream of frigid Arctic air, pouring down over the United Kingdom from the north, along with thick cloud bands and powerful gusts that can make you feel as if you were standing in a polar region. And although the center of Storm Benjamin is gradually moving away, its influence remains very noticeable. Tonight and early tomorrow morning, the eastern parts of England will continue to experience clouds and rain, especially in East Anglia, London, and Kent. These persistent rains will last until late morning, before slowly fading away, returning a stretch of clear sky. As the sun climbs higher, two different weather patterns will coexist across the country. In the central and eastern regions, the weather will be drier, sometimes with brilliant golden sunshine breaking through the clouds, shining down on rooftops still covered with morning dew. In contrast, the northern and western areas will not be as fortunate. In Scotland, particularly in the Northern Highlands, showers will occur frequently, some heavy, with hail and snow falling on peaks about 3,400 meters high. Farther south, Northern Ireland, Wales, and the southwest of England are also under a series of dense showers. Some of these downpours may be quite strong, even with sudden bursts of hail, making the air stingingly cold. Meanwhile, in the central and eastern coastal regions, such as Norfolk and Suffolk, the atmosphere is relatively calm, with only occasional light drizzles before the sky clears up, revealing a rare patch of sunshine. Even so, don't let the sunshine deceive your senses. Even when the sun is out, the winds remain strong, and the cold feeling lingers everywhere, especially along the North Sea coast, where gusts can be fierce enough to make anyone walking by the shore curl up, clutching their scarf tighter. As evening arrives, rain will gradually ease in many places, but in the western and northern areas, showers will continue to fall sporadically. In the central and eastern regions, the weather will turn clearer, a dry, crisp, and cold night. The wind will also weaken, bringing that distinctive calm of an autumn night. However, this also means that temperatures will drop lower than last night, especially in rural areas where the clear sky allows warmth to escape easily. In many places, temperatures may fall below freezing, turning night dew into a thin layer of frost coating car roofs, fields, and wooden fences along the roads. In the far northwest, clouds will begin to gather, making the air there slightly warmer. But for most of the United Kingdom, tonight will be a cold one, the kind of cold that makes you want to curl up under a blanket and listen to the wind blowing outside the window. And then, tomorrow morning will open with two strikingly contrasting shades. In the east, as dawn arrives, the sky will be clear and full of sunshine, the morning light reflecting on lingering dewdrops, creating a brilliant, refreshing scene. But as you move westward, the clouds will thicken, and light rain will gradually drift in. Throughout tomorrow, these rain clouds will slowly move southeastward, bringing showers to various regions. Residents in the southeast will have to wait a bit longer before feeling the raindrops, but eventually the rain will come. However, this round of rain will not be particularly heavy, mostly light and scattered, just enough to moisten the air and awaken that familiar earthy scent of autumn. The wind will strengthen a bit during the day, though not to an uncomfortable level. Especially in the afternoon, over western Scotland and Northern Ireland, clouds will begin to part, revealing faint rays of sunshine filtering through the gray layers. A scene so typical of temperate climates after rain, both melancholic and hauntingly beautiful. Temperatures in the coming day will rise slightly, about 1 degree Celsius higher than today, but with the alternating mix of clouds, wind, and showers, it will still feel quite cold. This chill is not as biting as in midwinter, but enough to make one long for a bit of warmth from the sunlight or a hot cup of tea in hand. As we move into early next week, the weather will become more changeable, a patchwork of rain, wind, and brief dry intervals. On some days, showers may turn heavier, accompanied by strong winds sweeping through coastal areas. Yet there will also be some dry, pleasant spells, especially around midweek. As for temperatures, perhaps what most people care about, the chill will linger at the beginning of the week, sometimes making the morning air feel piercingly cold. But as we approach mid and late week, temperatures will gradually become milder, not warm like spring, but comfortable enough to be pleasant, especially during the upcoming midterm break for many families. And if you are eagerly waiting for Halloween, the good news is, by next weekend, the weather is expected to turn milder, with less cold wind, and if we're lucky, there might even be dry evenings for the little ones to dress up and go trick-or-treating along the streets. In summary, the United Kingdom in the coming days will experience a very typical autumn weather pattern: strong winds, showers, cold mornings, mixed with a few rare sunny moments that make life feel a bit brighter. From the Highlands of Scotland to the bustling streets of London, nature is narrating its seasonal story, from autumn to winter, through the breath of the wind and the rhythm of the rain. So whether you're preparing for a workday, a weekend trip, or simply sitting by the window watching the sky, remember to bring a warm coat, keep your spirits light, and enjoy this beautiful moment of seasonal transition gifted by nature. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going through the final days of October, the time of seasonal transition, when the air begins to put on a new coat. Cool, pure, and filled with the fragrance of the coming winter. And if in recent days you have felt that the weather seems to have turned a little colder, you are absolutely right. Today, let's take a look at the overall weather picture across Europe to understand more clearly why the temperature has started to drop and what awaits us in the coming days. First, let's look to the east. There, we are seeing a large low-pressure system, the remaining remnant of Storm Benjamin, which was named by Météo France a few days ago. Although Benjamin has weakened, its swirling core still persists, spinning over the North Sea, creating convective cloud bands and strong winds, keeping the sky rather unsettled in some areas. But the interesting part lies to the west, where a stable high-pressure area is forming and gradually expanding. While the winds around the high pressure move clockwise, those around the low pressure rotate counterclockwise. This opposition creates a powerful air current that pulls cold air down from the Arctic, sweeping into southern parts of Europe. As a result, by this weekend, we will clearly feel the Arctic cold air seeping in. Temperatures will start to drop sharply, especially from Saturday to Sunday. On the weather maps, you can easily see patches of blue shading spreading southward, the clear sign that the cold air mass is taking control. However, it's not just the cold. On the forecast charts, we can also see many tight isobars, which indicate that winds will be strong, particularly in coastal areas. Therefore, even though the weather will remain dry, you should still be prepared for the sharp and biting northern winds. Even as we move into Sunday, this weather pattern will persist. Low pressure to the east, high pressure to the west, forming a continuous north-to-south cold airflow. At the same time, some moist air bands from the Atlantic Ocean will begin to move closer, signaling the possibility of scattered showers in the coming days. It won't be until mid-next week that we'll start to see any sign of change. By then, the airflow will gradually shift westward, bringing warmer air masses from the Atlantic. On the map, the blue tones will slowly give way to yellows and soft oranges, indicating a slight increase in temperature and a more mild feeling toward the end of next week. However, that doesn't mean it will be completely pleasant. When the warm air meets the lingering cold, the atmosphere will become more unstable. As a result, we may experience showers and cold fronts, alternating with brief clear intervals before rain returns again from the west. So, how cold will it be this weekend? Compared with earlier in the week, you will easily notice a significant temperature drop. On Saturday, the average temperature in many places will only range from 8 to 12 degrees Celsius, and in northern or mountainous areas, just 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. However, the actual feel on the skin will be much colder, as strong northern winds will make the body temperature drop quickly. In areas directly exposed to the northern wind, it may feel like only a few degrees above zero, especially in Scotland and the Northern Highlands, where some places may feel close to freezing. By Sunday, the temperatures will not change much. It will still be cold, with a biting chill when going outdoors. Even if the thermometer doesn't show very low numbers, the wind and humidity will make it feel as though we are in early winter. If you are planning to go out, there is good news. Saturday will be the driest day of the week. The sky will be sunny and clear, especially across the southern and central regions. However, northern coastal areas should take caution. The Arctic air moving through may bring occasional showers, sometimes accompanied by strong gusts and short bursts of heavy rain. By Sunday, conditions will begin to change. The low-pressure system will move closer, and clouds and rain from the west will start to spread. In the morning, you may still see clear blue skies and gentle sunshine, particularly in the east. But by noon and afternoon, thicker clouds will gradually appear, followed by occasional showers. Even though the temperature may rise slightly, the air will become more humid and heavy, making it still uncomfortable outdoors. Now, about the possibility of snow. How realistic is it? Many of you might be wondering whether snowfall could occur, since some recent headlines have mentioned the risk of early snow. Let's analyze this more carefully. We'll look at the freezing level. That is, the altitude at which the temperature reaches 0 degrees Celsius. At the moment, on Friday, this freezing level remains around 1,200 meters above sea level. This means that if rain occurs, it will still fall as rain in most lowland areas. Only in high mountain regions, where the air is colder and denser, might light snow appear. But by tomorrow, as the Arctic air mass continues to move southward, the freezing level will drop to just 600 to 800 meters. This means that in high areas such as the Scottish Highlands during heavy showers, snow or sleet could indeed occur. Although it won't be thick snow, it will serve as the first signal that winter is very near. To summarize, you can picture the overall weather in the coming days as follows. Saturday. Dry, with some sunshine but cold. Strong northerly winds, scattered coastal showers. Sunday, more clouds, showers spreading from the west, damp and chilly conditions. Early next week, the air remains cold with light rain or drizzle in some places. Midweek, winds shift westward, slightly milder but still with intermittent rain. Scottish Highlands, possible light snow or sleet as the first sign of winter. And so, this weekend will be the first time this year when we truly feel the breath of winter. Not yet harsh, but enough to make you want to put on an extra coat when stepping outside. Enjoy the crisp, sunny mornings, rare gifts amid the cool, gentle weather, and don't forget to prepare for an exciting new week ahead with all its upcoming changes. Thank you for watching today's weather report. See you again in our next forecast, when winter officially begins to knock on the door.